I'm Scott L. Miller. This is the Sheep Guarding Llama podcast for the 11th of January, 2022. Welcome to the show. Last night on the 10th, which was Monday, we had the owners of Food Rock Avenue from Leon were down at the hotel. We had seen them a few days ago when Kemi was with us and we had gone up to check out the food there. So they came down and were hanging out, and Dominica was upstairs just kind of doing her own thing. I wasn't sure if she was going out. She didn't know what she wanted to do. So she didn't feel like hanging out on the beach. I went out and hung out with them for several hours, drank and had a really nice time. Talked a whole bunch, got a lot of their feedback on the hotel and talked to them about their place and figured out what they're doing. And it's neat being able to hang out with people who own, it's cool, right? Being a restaurateur and a hotelier here, because one, it's a big business and there are lots of small hotels and stuff, or small restaurants and both. If you're in the States, it typically is, there are lots and lots of franchise restaurants in most places. And when you have restaurants, very dusty. It's the locally owned ones are very few and far between, and knowing people who actually run them is not actually all that common. So you don't have a lot of crossover between people. Here there's a lot more of them, and they tend to be a lot of local ownership. And so we're able to just have a lot of kind of camaraderie with the community around that. It's just a very different thing. And of course, because we own one, it causes us to know people who have them, because we just tend to congregate with each other. It's like, oh, you're the owner of this, I'm the owner of this. Well, you know, we should hang out and talk about it. And it's interesting that you have kind of this willingness to talk to each other because of these things. It changes the way you behave. So it's very interesting. We had a really nice evening hanging out with them. And then the kids wanted to play video games last night. So pretty late, I went and played the second Wallace and Gromit video game with them. Liesl controlled. Luciano and I pretty much just watched, but that was fun. We really liked that series, and it was a nice evening just hanging out together. I'm walking past Mike's place here. This has been going on for 2 days. I have no idea what they're doing, but there's a lot of trees being cut down, and I mean, this is just, it's almost like a logging operation. They've been going all the way around for the last couple days, taking down these trees. I don't know if they all got infected with something or they're having a change of plans with this property, but it's been a whole crew with chainsaws taking down tree after tree for days. So today is Tuesday. This morning had a normal morning of work. It's a relatively slow day, but I did have a few meetings, did that stuff. My big thing for the day, though, this is so exciting. My book is out on Amazon. It is available for pre-order. I will attempt to put a link in the description if I remember to. And it officially goes live 3 months from today, which, okay, that's a while, right? But it took a year to write, and now it takes a quarter of a year to go to publish. The whole process it's a big thing, right? It's exhausting and it's stressful and it's exciting, and it's so cool that at least now I can go to Amazon and be like, oh my gosh, that's my book. That's mine. Like, that's my name on it. That's my cover. That's my content. Oh my gosh, you can click order. Some people have already ordered it, which is super cool. I do get a portion of every sale. Of course, I really should get an affiliate link as well. That probably would help me too. And it's currently $40 for in print, and it's like $31 or $32 to get it on Kindle. It's not one of the free unlimited Kindles, which seems pretty cool to me. It's just really cool. So 3 months from today, on April 11th, if you have pre-ordered the print, it ships, and if you've pre-ordered the Kindle version, it automatically appears in your library. And I only know that because I looked at it today. So awesome. I can't believe it's actually there. So cool. Man, it's been a long year getting that out the door. So it just made my day when I saw that, and I saw it in a meeting, and I'm like, oh my gosh, everybody got to see this. This afternoon, I got to walk away from the chainsaws. this afternoon. The girls had wanted to play video games again this morning, just like we did yesterday. And Liesel slept in. Luciana got up at 7 o'clock so that she could come down and play video games. And Liesel was sleeping. So Luciana played My Time in Portia on her own upstairs. And Liesel, when she woke up, I was in meetings and stuff. So they waited until afternoon. And then I'm actually recording this probably about 2 o'clock. I actually don't know what time it is, and I haven't had lunch. So I'm kind of discombobulated, but I like to get out when the weather's good and the light is good and get these recordings done. So we're going to play video games this afternoon. So they've already come down. They're in the process of getting it all set up. So we're going to spend this afternoon playing some more of Wallace and Gromit together. Maybe some other games, but that's the one where we're going to try to make it through at least episode 2. I bet we're going to go on to another episode. We also just picked up Detective D yesterday, which Liesel and I think looks like a lot of fun. It's a old pixelated point-and-click adventure game, but it's like you play the Sherlock Holmes from Chinese culture back in one of the old dynasties and have to solve a murder mystery in ancient China. Looks really cool. I think we're going to really enjoy it. Liesel's excited about checking it out. Our septic system is being dug out. That's been going on for a few days. I cannot believe how deep the hole is and how much dirt there is out front. I have no idea how deep they need to go, but we got to go really deep. Like, we need a serious system. And apparently the systems they've been doing in the past are much more like holding tanks. And we need one that has its own purification and drainage system. So we're putting in, like, the architect designed it. All kinds of rocks and stuff are going in. Like, we're doing it up the way you're supposed to, apparently. Hopefully. So that's been continuous. They had a lot they had to dig out. This is a major undertaking, and we had to reroute septic systems so that the septic from the gray water is now going into the black water tank while they're doing this, because obviously we're working on the gray water tank. Very busy and stuff with that. The hotel itself is not too busy, so everything's fine there. We have been moderately busy though. Things are going well. The design for the front of the hotel is now available. We're hoping the painting of that will start very soon. We are getting closer and closer to starting the architectural plans to actually put on the second floor, which I've mentioned a few times. Can't wait to get the restaurant expanded. That is going to be such a big deal. We just really want to get that part of the business going more. And tomorrow, I'm told, so on the 12th, fingers crossed, on Wednesday, which I do have a bit of work I have to do on Wednesday. I've got a number of things scheduled, but we are supposed to be signing. I don't actually know who has to show up for the signing, but we're supposed to be signing on the new property, which is just behind me as I'm walking over here. It's within sight behind me, where our new house is going to be. So that has been, I can't believe how many months that's gone on for. We had hoped that we'd be able to close in November. I had kind of hoped it would push into December because it made it financially a little bit easier just to move the money around. Now we're well into January, and it hasn't closed yet, and I can't figure out what's making it take so long, but one way or another, it is closing, and we're not the ones in the rush, right? We could wait months and it wouldn't really affect us too much, but the sellers really seem to be under a lot of pressure to get the place sold, and we kind of feel badly for them that it's taking a long time. So we want to make sure that it moves forward, so we're a little bit anxious on their behalf, because obviously the money's very important to them. Very large percentage of their income coming from the sale of this property, and we want it to go smoothly. We want them to have the comfort of knowing that it's sold, that the money is in their hands, that everything's taken care of, because they're very, very worried about that. It's a very risky process for them, so we want to make sure that they're feeling good. Oh, that chainsaw is pretty loud. So in theory, that is happening tomorrow, and we will be done with the purchase of the second property. So the hotel has been ours now for a while, and that will give us the next big property and let us get moving on our next construction and planning adventure, as we have a lot of things we want to do over there, and we have to figure out exactly what we're going to do with it over time. And like how we're going to stage it, because this is really a multi-year construction project, we think, and the architect is going to be coming back with plans for it very soon, and we'll get a little bit of his vision and see how close it is to what we want to do and all of that. Otherwise, today I think is going to be a pretty relaxing day. We're going to play video games for a while. I'm going to do some video editing, maybe hang out on the beach tonight. I will try to get some pictures, because I'm in the mood to take some pictures on the beach and use the new camera, which I've not had very much time to do so yet. Dominica is getting really close to booking her flights to Colombia. Camille is doing well in Colombia and says it's fantastic. She's really enjoying it. And we're trying to figure out our schedule with Dominica in Colombia and me in Bolivia, because we need to get those things. We have to schedule the first piece with a trip to Costa Rica with the kids to get Dominica on the plane to Colombia, because we have to reset all of our visas together. My gosh, there's a lot of complication with this stuff. And then the kids and I will come back while she's in Colombia. Then I will go to Bolivia. And when I get back from Bolivia is when we have to start our process with our residency, which we can't do until we do that because the traveling causes problems. Once we start our residency, we are trapped inside the country until the process ends, which can be as little as several weeks. It can be several months. We can always get permission to leave if we need to, but we'd rather not have to deal with the permission to leave situation and just get our residency taken care of. As soon as we get our cedula, which is our paperwork for our residency, then we are free to go, come and go as much as we want, wherever we want. It's just this in-between process. You're supposed to stay here if at all possible, and we will have gotten some trips out of the way, so we won't be feeling too needing to go anywhere. And then we're planning, once we do that, to do some trips around Nicaragua, like going to the Corn Islands with the kids, because we want to be able to take them some places. But traveling with the kids outside the country is just way too complex because of COVID, and there's just way too many dangers. So only one of us can travel at a time, which I've talked about. Just a lot going on with all this. So we want to get all that taken care of, and we got to get that planning done. So that's where we are. That is moving forward. And I will see all of you tomorrow.